You ever really come up with a great idea for a video and then you think, damn, this is gonna piss some people off, but you do it anyway? Well, that's this video. And in this guide, I'm gonna teach you guys the 5 top tips for stopping people scamming you on the flea market and also how to make more money off your listings. This is gonna cover a few little basic rules that I've learned in my time on the flea market. And I wanna help, especially the new players, gain a better understanding of what's going on in the flea market and how to avoid being ripped off. So stick around and hopefully this helps you. So we're going to start off with point number 1, and this is something that I cannot stress enough, and it is comparing the value of the item on the flea market and to traders. Now there's something that a lot of new players seem to overlook, and it's the value of what items are. Not only when you're looting items in game is it important to know what they are worth, but it's important to know which one to sell them to. As an example, if I was to take some of these items here and I was to go over to my traders, let's say that most of these items like Alyonka, Bolt, Sugar, Defuel, Nails, Tarkov and Squash, most of these would sell to therapists for not really a lot. And so a lot of new players would get caught up in selling these to therapists, thinking that, you know what, these items are valueless anyway. But if I want to know the value of the item on the flea market, I go filter by item. As soon as I go filter by item, I'm going to hit the cog here and I'm going to remove barter offers. See this one here? We'll cover that in the next point, but we're going to quickly just remove the barter items and we're going to have a quick look. Oh my goodness. Alyonka is 20k. Now the reason Alyonka is about 20k, 25k is because 2 of them trade for 1 sugar. And sugar is about 50 to 60k. Now, a lot of trades, which I'll cover in the next point, will con new players into thinking that their Alyonka chocolate is worthless. Now, the bolts that were selling for almost 300 rubles, all of a sudden are 23k rubles on the market. And the same applies to all of these items. We've got sugar. If we check sugar, we've got the quick selling about 30 to 40k, and the more regular about 48k, some of these larger listings here. So the items that you think are valueless are actually not valueless. And it is your job as a player to know the value of the items that you're picking up. Not only does this allow you in Raid to gamma the correct items, but it allows you to understand what things are worth so you don't get scammed. And that's where part 2 comes in. Now I want to teach you guys something that's been going on for a long time. And if you go to any sort of flea market listing and you remove that bartering trade that I did earlier, the filter, you're going to notice that every single item in the game has a lot of trades for it. And you're thinking, whoa, this guy is selling a pack of nails for 1,449 rubles. And you're looking at his flea rep going, holy crap. But if you click on this little middle box here, it's going to open up something here. And it's going to be Alyonka chocolate 3 for a pack of nails. Now you might be thinking, oh, you know what? My chocolate is only 390 rubles each. And then you give him 3 of them. And if you think about it, what are you actually doing? Well, what you're actually doing is you're ripping yourself off. And he is making a profit out of you, and I'm going to explain how. The reason he gets to such a high listing in any of these guys is because trades are inherently a scam. People who trade items are looking to get a certain amount of markup by making it a weird, awkward trade where they always fall into profit. As an example, if I want to know that he wants 3 Alyonka chocolates, I'm going to quickly remove the barter trade and find out that chocolate is much more expensive in 3 than 1 pack of nails. But we can say roughly about 43k for a nail. So to buy item by Alyonka, remove bartering trade. But we're going to have a quick look and we're going to roughly guess that each chocolate could sell for about 22k. Now if you're in a hurry, you could sell them for about 20k. But the thing is, we've already figured out that if we give him 3 chocolates for 20k, even if we're quick selling, running off the quick sell value, that's 60k worth of chocolate for a 43k pack of nails. And people fall for this way too often, and it happens with everything. Name an item in the game that you want, and there's someone out there that is going out of their way to rip you off. As an example, even when we start the game, and they prey on new players like this all the time, Saliwas. You know you have to hand these in for therapists, and these people know that. But they're going to go out of their way and they're going to rip you off. As an example, the first trade, something we've already covered, is a Saliwa kit for 2 chocolate bars. Now we know Saliwas, if I was to remove the value, remove bartering trade offers, a Saliwa should probably be about 15, 16, 17k. So it's going to look like it's a good deal. But I encourage you guys, and I can't stress this enough, if you want to do trades for items, I would recommend not doing trades for items. Or doing a little bit of research, figuring out what they want and how much by clicking this box and figuring out if it's a good deal. It's my job as a player to know the value of items so that when I'm in raid, I can make the most out of my looting. So please guys, before you fall for these, figure out what items are worth. If you're not sure how, quick recap, right click filter by item. If you want to make more money on the market, don't be too eager to sell items. I can't express how important it is to sit your item at the right value because you're ripping yourself off. This guy has lost 5,000 rubles off a 1 slot item, which may not seem like a lot, but it happens across the board. Now this goes for anything guys. When you're listing items, just take your time. What I would do was let's do something different here. Let's do sugar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sugar and I'm going to go down to the listings and I'm going to find someone who has a large amount of listings and I'm going to undercut him. Now sugar is a pretty poor example because it's often controlled by large amounts of people with large amounts of sugar who benefit from trades. But what you want to do is you want to just find the guy like this guy here with 18 and you want to go like 1 ruble below him. The reason is a lot of these lower listings don't feel like you need to undercut them because I can tell you the moment this 35k sugar even remotely hits the market, it has already been sold. So I need to teach you guys that you need to understand where you put your listing. So if I was to put a listing anywhere, I would add an offer just underneath this guy with the 18 because it will sell. A lot of these these one items will be sold out. So find the guy with the largest amount of listings and undercut him by a small amount of value and you'll get the most out of your trade. Alright guys, so this is part 4, and in part 4 I'm going to teach you guys the importance of understanding other currencies. Now the reason that this is important is because if you list items in other currencies, you can actually make a larger profit margin, and here's how. If we understand the basic value and the trade value of an item, and whereabouts it sits in rubles, if it's favorable to sell in rubles, USD and euro. Now let me explain. If we go over to Peacekeeper, we're going to learn that each US dollar is 106 rubles, which means that if we were to sell something that was sitting around under 100 rubles for 1 US dollar, we would make a larger markup. And the same applies to also euro. Now euro are actually even better at 117 rubles per euro. Now here I'm going to show it in action and why. Sometimes it is better to sell. But we're going to have a quick look here. And the first thing we're going to notice when we're checking the listing is the first listing is 700 rubles. The second, 700 rubles. The third, 736. Then we think to ourselves, interesting. How do I want to play this? Do I want rubles or do I want other currencies? Well, the question you have to ask yourself is it profitable? Now, we're going to do a quick bit of math here. If I was to go 7 times 105 or 106 depending on the value of US dollar, we'll find out that it's 742 rubles. So if I was to list my ammo right now for $7, I would be making 742 rubles worth of USD. Now you need to understand that my listing within theory should be around here, but it doesn't work that way in the flea market. And that's the beautiful part, is that I could list all of this for 7 USD, which I'll do right now. And when it comes up, you're going to quickly see that my ammo is going to be sitting near the top. But this is just, you don't have to go and do this exact ammo, but this works for anything. Do a little bit of math, figure out whether you can make a larger profit margin in rubles, euro or USD, and then sell in that one. okay? Because it is important to understand that if you want those currencies, you may never have to buy them. Hey guys, so that's the end of this video. If you learned anything about the flea market today, you know what to do. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. As always, I stream 6 days a week on Twitch. The link will be in the description down below, and thank you so much for watching.